Happening right now, rescue crews are out trying to get someone that was seen floating down the Red River. And according to the dispatch call center, the coroner has been called to the scene. Our reporter that's out there tells us there's a lot of emergency response vehicles on the bridge connecting Fargo and Moorhead. Now, this is a developing story, and as we get more information, we're going to post it for you on our Facebook page and our website, valleynewslive.com.
My daddy's coming home.
A special homecoming for soldiers coming back from overseas just in time for the holiday weekend. Our reporter John Sailing was there and brings us this story.
Brigadier General Giselle Wills and Sergeant Chris Hickel are coming home after years overseas.
Feels great after 2 years.
It's great. It's a lot different. When I left, my son was 3. And so he's grown a lot now in the last 2 years, and I just can't wait to be home and spend some time with him.
Family and friends are already making plans for them.
We're gonna do the bubbles, and we're gonna fix the Spider-Man helicopter.
Surprise, maybe. We'll see what's gonna happen. Go to the lake. Probably drink some beer.
I miss family, then I miss friends. So although that was an incredible opportunity and we had an opportunity to see a lot of Eastern Europe and meet a lot of great people, you always miss family and friends.
They are just 2 of those returning today, both from Bosnia and Herzegovina after a 2-year tour of duty at a NATO base in Sarajevo. 6 and 10.
NATO is in Bosnia-Herzegovina to help support the Ministry of Defense and the Armed Forces of Bosnia-Herzegovina to work on defense and security sector reform. It's actually professionalizing their military so that they can be a better partner member to the alliance and eventually get into the NATO alliance.
Brigadier General Wills was the commander of the operation for the last 2 years, and Sergeant Hickel her security operations NCO.
We got to travel a lot. We got to meet a lot of very interesting people, from presidents, princesses, prime ministers.
But the most interesting people Hickel could meet waited for him at the airport.
Definitely the last 2 years of my son's life. It's really hard.
No, I think they're all there.
Both are happy to be home and are excited for the next chapter in their careers.
The immediate missions for both soldiers now is to enjoy the 4th and some much needed time home. Some guys up in Grand Forks got a little patriotic today. This was sent in to us by one of their neighbors who said the fellows who painted this spent 5 hours doing so to make sure it was perfect. As always, we want to remind everyone to be safe when you're shooting off fireworks. This video shows what could possibly happen if one of them was to blow up while you were holding it. Now, this shouldn't be a problem within city limits because lighting off fireworks isn't allowed, but for all those people who decide to break the rules, you've been warned. Preparing for your 4th of July beverage plans may get an extra help tomorrow as Sunday liquor sales take place in Minnesota. The 159-year-old ban on Sunday sales of alcohol officially ends tomorrow. Minnesota was just one of 12 states left banning the sale of liquor on Sundays. And after years of debate, the law was finally changed through a vote in the state legislature on March 2nd. There may still be individual city laws within Minnesota that keep liquor stores from opening on Sundays, and doesn't mean stores have to be open, so some will choose to stay closed. Local liquor store owners and employees are eager to see how opening on Sundays will impact sales, but they say it has been a long time coming.
There's no reason why we shouldn't be open on a Sunday, so it was just inevitable. It was just an archaic law.
Though the new law does take effect tomorrow, liquor stores are only allowed to be open between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Along with the Sunday liquor sales, here are some of the more notable laws taking effect in Minnesota this month. One new law expands benefits for people with autism to include people up to 20 years old. There is $450 million in tax cuts on the way, which comes from part of the state's record $1.6 billion surplus. Electric car owners will now have to pay a $75 annual fee because they don't have to pay a gas tax. And Real ID becomes the law of the land, so you won't have any trouble getting on an airplane. The fight for 15 has been won in Minneapolis. With a near unanimous vote, the Minneapolis City Council has adopted a $15 per hour minimum wage. The vote of 11-1 means all employers in that city will need to raise their minimum wage to $15 gradually over the next several years. But as Kate Raditz shows us, the idea of 15 bucks an hour doesn't sit well with some people.
That ordinance is adopted.
The crowd erupted in cheers at Minneapolis City Hall as the council voted unanimously to move ahead with a $15 minimum wage for the state's largest city.
Because of the leadership of low-wage workers, fast food workers, servers, and workers across the city, we have now won $15 an hour.
Only Councilman Blong Yang voted against the wage hike that will also apply to workers who receive tips. That means those waiters, baristas, and bartenders in Minneapolis will collect 15 bucks an hour on top of whatever you tip them.
The restaurant industry is unified.
Jennifer Schellenberg is a bartender at Red Rabbit in Minneapolis and has worked in the restaurant business since she was a teenager. She says restaurant workers are worried about their jobs.
When you think about, well, our wages are going up, that means profits are going to go down. It's really simple to think about what kind of consequences we're going to have.
Supporters say 15 an hour is a step to giving everyone a living wage.
And we have done a lot for a lot of people, and we get to do more. Starting now.
Would you like another cocktail? What this minimum wage increase encourages is more Applebee's and more Fridays and less scratch kitchens. That's what this encourages.
Large businesses, those with 100 or more employees, must phase in the $15 minimum wage by July 1st, 2022. Small businesses have until July 1st, 2024. The man killed after he was trapped in a trench on a farm has been identified as Donovan Weber from Ogema, Minnesota. The accident happened yesterday around 1 o'clock at a farm near Richwood, Minnesota. According to the Becker County Sheriff's Office, the man's co-workers along with emergency responders did all they could to help him. Funeral arrangements for Weber are being made. The family of Pedro Ruiz, the young man from Houston, Minnesota, who died in a stunt gone wrong this week, is turning to GoFundMe for help with expenses caused by his tragic death. The GoFundMe was started a few days ago by Jamie Nelson from Ada. He says the money will help the family with funeral costs and the cost of raising the family he left behind. 20-year-old Mona Lisa Perez has been charged with second-degree manslaughter in Ruiz's death. The family says Ruiz gave Perez a gun last Monday night and insisted she shoot it at a book he was holding, thinking it would stop the bullet. Reportedly, the couple had tested the stunt already, but this time it cost him his life. Perez was released from jail on $7,000 bail. Under the conditions of her release, she'll have to wear a GPS monitor and have no access to firearms. The restaurant company that owns Ground Round in Fargo announced today that it will be closing. The restaurant has been a fixture in Fargo for more than 3 decades. The closure is only the latest in a string of restaurant and store closures to hit the FM area over the last several months. The company says the building has been put up for sale.